injuries. Mitch left with a concussion, so he's in the protocol. Huff went out with a knee, and Tart went out with a groin. Go ahead.
Kyle, what are the emotions? What was it like coming off that field and going into that locker room?
Oh, it was fun. I mean, kind of lit up the entire game, just trying to get back into it, the way we did it with how many guys were down and just how many guys had to step it up. I was just so proud of everybody in that locker room. They never stopped fighting, and they had to. It's a really good team, and I was just so proud of the guys.
Did you think you guys had a chance down 17?
Yeah, I mean, I did. You always do, and I mean, it really helped scoring at the end of the second quarter. That was big. It helped winning the coin toss, which we haven't won many this year, so timed out right with that 3 points for us to start with it. And you know, once that first drive in the third quarter happened, it was kind of all right, back to normal. You know, they came out really well. I thought our D was playing really good. They were just so good. Stafford was unbelievable on third down, especially in that first half. You know, offense, I think it took us a little bit to settle down. Want to hit them with some play actions and stuff, and their front's tough. But our guys settled down and did a hell of a job.
You've been around Jimmy for a long time now, but what did he show you today with pointing to the injury and the way he bounced back, particularly after the interception?
I mean, Jimmy's always been pretty good at bouncing back from picks. You know, I think it's tough when you're trying to run the ball a ton, so you don't get into too much of a rhythm. You're trying to do that when it happens, and gosh, he made some big plays. And then that one at the end down in the red zone, that pick that happened between him and George, it was real tough. But to come back and lead us down there, however many ever yards it was, like close, I think it was a little over 80, to tie it up, to send it with an overtime, he was unbelievable.
You were 17-0. You came back and won. This season, you were 3-5. You're now in the playoffs. How resilient is this team?
Our guys are real resilient. Now, I've been very proud of them, and I'm just glad that we get to go into the tournament and be a part of it. Regardless of what happened today, I was going to be very proud of those guys. And you know, our goal every year is to get in the tournament, so you got a chance at the ultimate one. And you know, our guys, I think it's real hard when you have a season where you lose 4 in a row. You know, most places when you lose 4 in a row, guys, it's tough to keep guys together. And just the character in our building and the players and just everyone around, it makes it easy, and you can just focus on your job and keep fighting. And that's what our guys have done all year. They just kept fighting, not worried about anything else. And in the meantime, I think we've gotten better each time doing that, and we've been able to overcome some injuries too.
What's the prognosis for Trent? And then why go with Colton McKivitz at left tackle for this game?
It wasn't an easy decision. You know, Colton's just been really doing real well in practice here the last month. Nothing against Jalen at all. We plan on rotating them. We felt like we didn't get, just the way the game was going, we didn't get really enough in the first half to give him a fair opportunity. Then that opening drive of the third, we just felt like he had settled down and we weren't going to put Jalen in late, so we just stuck with that. And Trent, as much of a soldier as we have on our team, and he did everything he could to play today, and he was heartbroken when he couldn't. Got up here early in the morning, wasn't able to do it, wasn't healthy enough, and I'm just glad that we're giving him another chance to come back and have another one.
The Jimmy throw to Debo down the right side when you had the last possession of regulation. I know you don't do superlatives all the time, but was that maybe the best throw you've ever seen?
Which one?
Deep down the right side to Debo for a 55 yards.
Oh, yes. I thought it was an unbelievable throw. Jimmy just, for him also not to get rattled in there too. I mean, he's not ever from a physical standpoint, but you never know when you're going to have the time to block, when you're not. Sometimes you got to get rid of it quick. Sometimes you can hold on to it and let it develop. That's really tough with that front and some of the players they got and some of the coverages they mix in and the patience he had on it, the poise, and then Debo being unbelievable.
Were you worried?
Did you ever feel the thumb was affecting his throws?
What's that?
Did you ever feel the thumb was affecting his throws? And was there ever a consideration on maybe we're going to mix Trey in if we feel like it does affect him?
No, I mean, we had a pretty good idea. Jimmy had a good week. I don't. You can ask him, but I don't think just from my eyes, it didn't affect him at all. How he looked in practice this week looked good too. You know, if he would have been hurt or something like that, or something happened in the game, then I wouldn't have hesitated.
Kyle, what was your message to the team at halftime?
I mean, it was great. It made it a lot easier coming in after that field goal, which was huge. I thought the defense, I just said to them, you guys have been playing unbelievable. We just got to figure out how to get off on third down, which is a big deal. And then offense, I just thought it was great that I didn't have to say much because we finished with a field goal. I think we had like 15 plays there in the first half. I think it was like 5 runs, 10 passes. Couldn't get it going. Had some bad sacks. I think we had a penalty. Didn't have some very good down and distance, but we finished with points and we knew we were starting with the ball. So that just allows you to focus right away that if we do our job, we'll be one score real fast.
Were you just
I like
10 straight runs?
What's
I
that?
think it was 10 straight runs, and then you went with the Debo trick play to Juwan Jennings. Was that one where you felt that you had him set up after so many straight times pounding the ball?
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to set it up more than that. But that is the hard thing to do. I mean, you run it 10 times in a row, and that is when it's set up. But there's also a risk too that why mess up a good thing? We're running it pretty good right now, but you always got to make that decision when you wait too long and you end up with 3 points, and you feel like you got to get 7 somehow. And I thought Juwan was great in how he sold it, got them all to crack replace, and Debo just to have the poise to attack like that. And I mean that's earned with what Debo does all the time. I mean, when Debo comes around the corner and he's running very hard, those people don't want to sit back there and wait for him to tackle them. So those guys got to come up fast, and for him to have the poise to attack and make it look like a run and really be able to get hit while he was throwing was huge. And Juwan made it a little scary though, but he eventually caught it.
Were you surprised at all by the way the Rams ended that game, running it 3 straight times, obviously to make you burn the timeouts, but, not trying to throw it, and then the fact that, they didn't try and go for it that last throw, they didn't burn their last time out?
No, I think that was pretty smart of them. I mean, I know you always look hindsight when it's over, but no, I mean, that's going that far, and we got to get a touchdown. That's compared to a field goal just to tie us in overtime. No, I probably would have done the same way.
How Sean joined the celebration in the end zone when they went up 17-0 on Hinkey's touchdown. Was that noticed by anyone on your sideline or discussed?
No, you don't see those stuff unless you're watching TV usually, or you saw it, but you probably saw it on TV also.
On breaking news.
Yeah.
Kyle,
What
I mean,
about-
it wouldn't have been hard to go with Trey Lance, or at least really consider him with your starting quarterback with a hurt right thumb. How easy was it for you to just say, you know what, Jimmy, you're fine, we're riding you?
It was really easy just because of what Jimmy made me feel throughout the week. Just how he was talking, how he was doing. I felt very confident with him, and I was real happy with what Trey did the week before. And Jimmy was going into that game to where he felt he couldn't play up to his ability. Then I would have gone with a different decision. But he isn't 100%. He is hurting, but he still was able to play at 100% of his level. So that was kind of why the decision was easy for me.
And offense,
Why did
Williams.
Juwan Williams, why was he inactive, and what did that do to your defensive backfield?
It was tough. Just missing all those DBs this week. K1, out all week, and he just didn't feel comfortable not preparing the same way as usual and going through the whole process. And Dante with what he's been and how he stepped in and helped us at every position. I can't tell you how proud of Dante I am to, what he's been through this last month. To go in there and start at nickel for us today versus as good of a slot receiver as there is in this league, as good of a quarterback. And then when we lost Huff early in the game, we lost our dime package, so Dante had to go back and play safety, which then brought in Queston Hart, who we just got this week for a practice squad because of the COVID flexes, and there's lots of people like that today. Cole McKivitz, I think it was his first time being activated this year. And guys everybody was really unbelievable, and we needed
Kyle,
everybody.
your thoughts on playing Dallas? You got Dallas as the matchup. You hadn't played them this season. Your thoughts just on that matchup?
Not much yet. I mean, they haven't been on our schedule, and I really wasn't looking at any of that stuff. So someone just told me that a little bit ago, and I know they've had a hell of a year. I know they got really good players, and they got really good coaches. So we'll enjoy tonight, and then we'll get on the film first thing in the morning and find out whether it's Saturday or Sunday. But hopefully we get 2 days to prepare and put in a good game plan for these guys on Wednesday.
Coach, how tough is it to beat a team like this?
What's
six
that?
straight- How tough is it to beat a team like this 6 straight times? I know the matches are different, personnel's different, but
it's tough to beat that team once. I mean, that's a really good team with really good coaches, and they got the players and everything. So I mean, it's not a coincidence that they've only lost 4 this year, and I know that was 6 in a row for us, but I mean, each game's its own game, and that was a battle, and they're not easy to beat. They're tough, and just real proud of our guys.
I know you talked about it a little bit, but what do you just make of Juwan's effort today?
Juwan was a man today. I love Juwan. You guys see the passion he plays with. We don't want to tame it, but you gotta try to a little bit. But it's the fire that he brings to the game is unbelievable. And the way he blocks is the same way he runs routes. It's the same way he catches. It's the same way he does everything. And it was a big deal losing Mo early in this year. I thought he was playing One of the most consistent out of our whole wideout group at the time we lost him. But it was good because it gave Juan a little more time to get ready and had some setbacks there in training camp. And once he got his opportunity, he's never looked back. And he's gotten better each week, and he was huge today.
After you lost Wisnowski, you had Juszczyk holding, and then Robbie punting. And Robbie had that 43-yard punt right after the 2-minute warning. Just how big was it to get those kinds of contributions?
So big. I mean, losing Mitch is an issue, and they got a good punt returner, a good return team, and Robbie hit that one. We got that good roll, and Robbie was huge today. He kicked off real well there at the end, kicking it out of the end zone, making it much tougher for them to get that field goal at the end. I was real proud of those guys. It was huge, and hopefully things will go well for Mitch this week, and hopefully we'll get him back.
What did you say about the strides Ambry
Last
Thomas
one,
has
guys.
made from where he started to essentially stealing this today?
So much. Ambry, he's definitely made a believer out of me in the second half of the season, and I would not have believed he could have with how it started off. And that sounds kind of harsh, but it's not. It's a huge compliment. Took him some time, but when he got his opportunity, which was from injuries, he was ready and he competed and he just showed a lot what's in him. And watching him these last 5 games, I feel like I know the guy a lot better than I did before, and he's shown us that he's someone can count on, and I think he's gonna do the right stuff and continue to get better.
Did it sound like a home game to you at times, I think?
It does. It usually does here in LA. Just the way the Coliseum always was when we were here. It's so cool to go to an opposing stadium and see half of it red. I didn't know how it'd be here in SoFi, but Coliseum was always some of the best experiences. And here, didn't know what to expect because it was my first time in here with fans. But when we came out at the beginning of the game, I saw the same thing that I saw in the Coliseum. It helps. It was pretty cool.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, thanks, guys.